Hello everyone, welcome you all to the Manage Engine Applications Manager. In this video, we are going to discuss how you can set up the monitoring for a specific add-ons that are available in Applications Manager. So when I say add-ons, yes, in Applications Manager, we are having few add-ons that will boost uh, the monitoring, especially for the applications in which you can view the end-to-end transactions or the end-to-end monitoring, in which you can view all the transactions that have been performed, and also you can view the database informations. And we have another add-on called end-user monitoring, in which you can view how your application behaves from one location to another. And in the real user monitoring, that is the third add-on we are going to discuss, in which you can view how your application behaves when a user uh, use it from the front end side. From the client side monitoring, this real user monitoring will track all the information from the end users. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss on the today's session. In the previous video, we have discussed about the like how you can set up the monitoring for the agentless application and the servers. So in this topic, the first one which we are going to discuss is APM Insight add-on. So what is this APM Insight add-on and why it is needed? So this particular APM Insight, that is Application Performance Manager. So this particular APM Insight is needed for a full stack performance monitoring. So this with this add-on, you can view the complete performance of your application. So when I say application, yes, it could be a web application or the website. You can view the complete performance. So whenever a user logged in and performing any transaction, all those transactions will get captured, and we'll just calculate some AppDeck score by which you can by which will help you to understand how healthy your application is. So in case if a user is facing any issue on a particular a page. So if the particular page is not loading on your application, with the help of this APM Insight add-on, you can easily identify in which particular piece of code or in which particular JSP file or something the issues happening. So it will drill down to each and every component in which that particular transaction is involved, and it will identify the exact root cause of your application issues. And also with this APM Insight, you can keep track all the backend executed transaction if they are getting any error, or if there you are getting like if the thread utilization is high, you can verify everything with the help of this APM Insight. So when we just talk about the APM Insight, yes, this is an add-on. This particular add-on is supported for the different application technologies. So we have a agent for the Java-based application, .NET-based application, .NET Core, Node.js, PHP, Ruby on Rails, and also recently in the latest version, we are supporting for the Python applications as well. So these are all the different agents that is available under this APM Insight. So if you just click on Java agent, it will, you need to just download this agent, and with this agent will, like this agent is nothing but this is a collection of jar files. You need to just extract it in the application server, and in that you need to just open a file. You need to just give the applications manager hostname and port, so that during the restart of the application server, this agent will hook up with the applications manager and send all the data to the applications manager. So we're using the bytecode technology for capturing the data uh, to show it on the UI. So here you can see the prerequisite. So for each and every agent, once it is downloaded, you need to just copy this license key from the app manager UI. So this license key will differ from one installation to another. For to enhance the security, we have this feature so that it will hook up with the correct applications manager in which we want to integrate this agent. So once you just given the license key, you need to define the applications manager hostname and port. So here the main prerequisite here is like from the application server where you're deploying the agent, from that machine, the applications manager UI should get accessible. So either via the HTTP port, or you can also use this secure port, that is HTTPS, for making this connection. So once you just given this information, The next thing is like based on the application server, the prerequisite will differ. So in case if it is an Tomcat based application or Glassfish, or in case it's the IBM WebSphere application or JBoss application, or if it is a Wildfly application, so it will differ from one to another. So you can see the supported platform and the frameworks that we do support and the databases. So if your application use any databases for storing the data, we'll just show the complete query in the UI so that you can verify like how long it is getting executed, how many times it is executed, what is the request like throughput for that particular query. So every information will keep track in this APM Insight. And also you can all like not only for the on-premise application, if you're having the application on your cloud or in the AWS Beanstalk, we can use this APM Insight add-on, APM Insight agent to fetch the complete information and show it on the UI. So this is for the Java. So based on that, for the .NET Core PHP, you need to download the agent and follow the steps. So once you just followed this prerequisite and restarted the services, the agent will automatically hooked up with the applications manager and send the data. So right now, so this is one of my Java application. I just given the details, and now it will capture all the transactions that have been performed. It's a real-time monitoring. So in the previous video, we discussed regarding the database servers and the applications. So in there, we have defined the polling interval so that for every 5 minutes, it will try to make a connection with the target host and execute a query, or with the API, we pull the information. So that is the defined polling interval. But this add-on, that is APM Insight, is an real-time monitoring. It will capture all the transaction currently the user is performing so that you can identify the issue in a faster manner. So if you just click on this transaction tab, it will list down all the transactions that have been executed now. It will fetch the response time, the bytes in and out, and also the number of requests. And as I said here, for each and every transaction, this AppDex score will get monitored. So this AppDex score is from 0 to 1. So if it is less than 0.6, in that case, there is some serious issue that's going on in your application. You need to just take an immediate action for this. So if it is 0.9 or 0.8, no need to worry. So your application is in the healthy state now. So in the transaction tab, you can view all that. So if you want to view, for example, in this show custom do, so in this transaction, if you want to view what are all the components that have been involved, if you just click on this transaction, it will drill down to the complete flow here. So here it will show like what are the components that have been involved and which particular components taking time, minimum, maximum, and average. And also based on the, we'll just show the split up here as well and the request throughput. So with the help of this, you can identify which particular component is taking time and you can rectify that. And in the database tab, we will just show the complete query, like what are the operations that have been performed, whether it is select query or update query or insert query that have been executed in the back end whenever user is performing some transaction on your application. And in the traces tab, we just show all the complete traces. So you can just drill down to the transaction and verify the complete information here. So it will break down to the each and individual component, and here you can view the information. And in the JVM tab, it will just show the heap memory usage of your application, like what is the current memory used and what is the non-memory usage, and along with the CPU and the class count here as well. And in the exception tab, in case if your application is having some exception, it will just show the number of count. If you just click on that exception, it will just show you in which particular transaction this exception is getting occurring. So this and also in the service map, it will just show all the components that are involved on this application. So in case if you're having any middleware, the backend database connectivity for sending the data, so all the components that are involved on this application will be shown in this service map. So that if any of the components getting breakdown in between, you can view the live status here and you can take the necessary action. And also you can just create your own thread profile here and monitor it. So this is for the Java application. The same replace for the .NET and the other monitor types. So with this APM insight, you can monitor the complete end-to-end transactions of your application, and will like it will be not only useful for your NOC team or your support team, it will helpful for your developer engineers as well, so that they can identify which particular piece of code or which particular function or the JSP is taking time or causing any error, and you can easily rectify that. So this is the first add-on, that is APM Insight. Now we are going to discuss about the user experience, that is end user monitoring. So end user monitoring is also an add-on in by which you can verify how your application, okay, how your application web server or website or your mail server behaves from one location to another. So here what the end user monitoring will do here is like, so with the like we have an option here, we have a concept here, that is the real browser monitoring. So we will just record a few steps, okay. For example, so you want to check how your application behavior on a different location. So how you can verify it here is like, you will be installing one end user monitoring agent on a particular location. From that location, we will play back the script. For example, in the real browser monitoring, I'll just show you here. Just a moment. So this is the real browser monitoring here. So this real browser monitoring. So here, what we'll be doing here is like, with the help of a recorder, we'll just record few transactions. So we'll just log into your web application or the website and do some transaction and save that particular recording. So once that transaction is recorded, for every 5 minutes or 10 minutes, based on the polling interval, we will just play back that particular recording. For example, those will be converted as a script. So that particular script will be play back every 5 minutes or 10 minutes with the different browsers. So you can just select the respective browser type as well, whether it's a Chrome or Firefox. So you can just select that browser type, and with the help of that browser, we'll just play back this particular script and we'll just verify it. So in case if there is any change on your website, or in case if there is any, if the page is not loading on a particular time, it will show you the error on a real-time basis. And also, as I said, if you're like, if you want to check that particular transaction, that is the recording from a different location, you can install a end user monitoring agent on that location, and you can just point to that agent, so that this recording will be playback on that end user monitoring machine, and it will just show the page load time here. So with the help of this, you can identify how your application behaves from one location to another. This particular real browser monitoring will help your development team for test any feature before they release it in the production. So in case if they want to make any change on their website, so in case if you're going to just give any new offer on your website, so if you want to check whether that particular page is completely loading or not, so you can just use this real browser monitoring to verify it. And for each and every steps, that is the transaction we have just captured with the recording, right? So for each and every transaction, the screenshot will be captured along with the component split up here. So with the help of this, you can verify whether your application page is completely loaded or not. So in case if it is taking time, you can just configure the alarm for this page load time. So if it is getting high, so you'll get notified, and you can just check uh, whether it is an application based issue or in the particular location it is causing the issue. So with the help of this real browser monitoring, you can easily identify those kind of issues. And now we are going to discuss about the real user monitoring. So what is this real browser monitoring? So for the real browser monitoring, we use the end user agent, okay, EM agent in the machine. But for the real user monitoring, no need to use any agent. Sorry, no need to use any end user agent. We have, sorry, let me just open that. So here, what it will do is like, this is for the only for purely for the client side monitoring. So instead of installing agent on a multiple location to verify how your application is behaves, so with the help of this real user monitoring, you can easily identify all the client side monitoring, so how your application behaves from in our different locations. For example, so with this monitoring itself, you can identify like how your application behaves from one location to another location and how much time it has been taken. And also same like the APM insight. So APM insight is completely for the end-to-end monitoring, but this real user monitoring is for the client side monitoring. So it will also capture the AppDeck score and tell you how your application behaves in a specific locations. So with the help of this real user monitoring, you can find from where the user is accessing your application, by using which device the user is accessing, which browser they are accessing, and by which internet service provider they are accessing your application. So here under the ISP, you can check like the user ISP here, and because with like if the user is saying that the application is not working, but when you access, it will work. So you need to just identify where the issue is occurring, whether it is in a firewall issue or it is a browser issue, or maybe it is getting blocked on a particular region. So with the help of this real user monitoring, you can just pinpoint the error exactly where it is occurring. So you can just with the help of the ISP, you can also check, and if the user is accessing you can just show the browser information here as well, and you can verify how much time it is taking to load the application, the average response time, and the total count here as well. And in this device type, you can identify by which device the user is accessing your applications. Maybe in some cases, your application may work fine while accessing it from the Windows machine. So if it is while the user is accessing the same application over the mobile phone, it will not open. So so to identify those issues, we also capture this device information so that you can identify the response time and the count as well. And in the web pages, it will just show all the front end transactions that user currently performed. And in the user session, it will show the active user session. So with the help of this, you can identify. So this is also in real time monitoring. So with the help of this, you can check how many users are currently logged in to your website or the web application and doing what are the transactions. So you can easily identify and verify the informations. And if your application is using any third-party resources or any front-end resources, it will just show those components here as well. Also, it will just show the time and the size here. So in case if the third-party integration is taking time due to which your application is not loading, with the help of this resource information, you can identify that. And if your application any Ajax calls, we'll also just capture that, and you can fix that issue in a faster manner. And if it is a JavaScript errors, you will just show the complete error, and you will just show in which particular transaction the error is happening. If you just click on the type of error, it will just show that particular file and the information. Like when user access a particular page on a which browser on which particular device type, it will open the complete information here. So with the help of the real user monitoring, you can identify the issues that the user is facing while they access your application from the front end side. So these are all the three main add-ons that I want to get focused on. And now we are going to see some custom monitoring. So with the help of the applications monitoring, I can monitor the application servers. With the database monitoring, I can monitor the database servers. And with the APM insight or end user monitoring, we can monitor the performance of our application or the web application or the website. And now we are going to see some custom monitoring. So what is this custom monitoring here? It's like if you just click on new monitor and add new monitor. So we have a category called custom monitors. So in case if a particular query is taking time on your environment, and if you want to monitor the result of a particular query, so you can just add that particular query as a database query monitor and monitor the complete output. So, and you can generate the report for the same. So if you just click on the database query monitor, you can just select the host here. So in case if the server is already added, you can just select from the existing host, or else you can just select give the information of the host, and you need to give the query here. So it will show the output, and you can monitor the output as well. So in case if the output is differ from the one which you are expecting, you can get an alert for the same, and also you can just generate it as a report. So this is the database query monitoring. The next one is file directory monitoring. So in case if you want to monitor a file and do a content check, so in case if you want to monitor a particular log and verify if there is any error, so this will do for every 5 minutes. So for every 5 minutes, this log monitoring will be done with the help of file or monitoring. And in case if there is any error that is currently occurring on that particular application with the log monitoring, you can fetch with the help of this content check and trigger an alert. And in case if you want to monitor a directory, if in any of the cases if the log file is getting removed or someone is removing information from a particular directory, with the help of this directory, we can monitor the complete size and the number of files, so that if any of the file is getting removed or newly added to that directory, you'll be getting notified. Just show you that. So first, let me just show you the database query monitoring. Under custom monitoring, so and first let's check the database query monitoring. So here, as I said, you will be just giving the query. We can monitor the execution time and the complete output. And when it comes to the file monitoring, this is a file monitoring. Here we'll just completely monitor the file in case if there is any content check. For example, if any error occurs, with the help of the content check, you'll get notified. And also we can monitor the file size as well. And with the help of the directory monitoring, we can monitor the complete directory, so that if there is any error, so if the file is not found on a particular directory, you'll get notified. So with the help of these custom monitoring, you can uh, add if something is missed in a particular database or the log file. And also we have a script monitor, so that you can just execute, like for every 5 minutes the script will get executed and the output will get modified, will get monitored. So with the help of these custom monitor, you can just monitor the one which are missed with the help of the other types here. So in this particular video, we have discussed regarding the APM Insight add-on, end user monitoring add-on, real user monitoring add-on, and few of the custom monitor types. In the next video, we'll be discussing about the monitor groups. So what is monitor group and how you can create the monitor group and how you can associate and configure the alert for the monitor group. So we'll just discuss in the next video. So thank you everyone. Thanks for your time. I will just catch up in the next video. Bye.